when we have these festivals that are outside in the summer, and we get together and we jam with each other. As it gets to be 2 or 3, the fire's going, the tunes are getting longer, time and space kind of loses itself. And those are like the moments that we wish we had or that I wish I had all the time, those magic moments where you're kind of in between both worlds, the spirit world and the regular world. And I think music is one of the fastest ways to that world. It's not like I'm talking to dead people, but I am playing dead people's songs and communing with more than myself. Part of the great thing about it is you don't really feel much. You're just kind of like in the moment, Like how many times in our life are we truly just in the moment, I mean, we're kind of in the moment right here, but how many times in our life, with all the distractions and all the other stuff that we have, are we truly just in the moment and just able to let stuff kind of pour in and pour out of us? One of my favorite accordion players is Dwight Lamb. He's 85 and he's playing his grandfather's music, his Danish grandfather's music on the button bots. He really started trying to remember all of his grandfather's tunes. And still to this day, if you go down there, he'll have a new tune ready that he just remembers, that might have been played last 70 years ago, by his grandfather. All of a sudden it'll just pop up, because these things aren't written down. They're, just passed from person to person. So maybe if Dwight doesn't remember this tune at 85, that tune goes away forever. I'm still learning to play the fiddle, I'm still learning to play the button bots. All this stuff just takes time, but if you have the commitment for it, the time and the energy and commitment, you can do it. Now I'm to the point where I can play a Norwegian American fiddle tune pretty good if I want to, but it definitely takes the time and energy. Just like I'm sure with you with the pictures, you didn't just get amazing pictures right away. Takes time to set up everything and figure out the way you want to do it, figure out your own expression of what you're doing, all that kind of stuff. You just gotta dive in, you gotta put your fear aside of making mistakes or whatever and dive into the things you're interested in, A lot of artists and a lot of musicians want to play it really safe and do stuff that will sell well or that's safe to do. And I think it's important to what do you really believe in? How does it really affect what you do? If you consider yourself an artist, how does what you really believe in fit in with your art? And like I say, I don't know if I consider myself an artist, but I do know that the art I make, I definitely am always asking that questions, pushing yourself a little bit further to get to the real you. What do you really want to express? Not just what do other people want to hear or what do they want to see, I'm not really big on the bar shows musically or making it big or anything like that. I'd rather be busking on the bridge for 3 hours and have people come up and actually interact with you. People were coming up to me with their stories and their craziness and all kinds of stuff. People would interrupt me mid-song, want to tell me about this and that, all kinds of stuff. Making connections with folks. I mean, that's what music, that's what art is. I mean, yeah, you could say, oh, it's just something I do by myself and it's my own expression, blah, blah, blah. But I think where it really matters is where it interacts with other people or how it intersects with other people. We hold a group down at Edgecombe Rec Center every week that plays these tunes from the tune book I put out a couple of years ago. And it's all traditional tunes from the upper Midwest. And that's the reason why I do that every week, is because anybody can come to that. I just know that anybody who comes, they're at least going to learn one of those tunes, one of those tunes that come from right here on the spot that we're basically standing, that fiddlers played here 150 years ago. And a lot of people have learned a lot of tunes through those sessions, And I don't make a dime doing that, you know. It's just giving back, you know, and watching stuff grow, which is what I really like to do. That's why when like the Minnesota Bluegrass and Old Time Music Association, when they email me and they're like, will you do a workshop at this thing? We don't have any money, but will you do this workshop? I'm always like, yeah, what day? Get me there. And then, you know, some kid will be there from St. Cloud or something, you know, with a fiddle. And by the end of the workshop, they'll know these tunes, you know. And that's payment enough for me, you know. What I'm known for is that you kind of have to sit through a story, you know, about where the tune comes from, who played it, who I learned it from, you know, and that connects you to both what I would call music, but more importantly to the spirit world concept, you know. If I tell you a story and then I teach you a tune, not only are you going to remember the tune, but you're going to remember the story that came with that tune every time you play it. It's a weird thing, but it's really true that if you start playing this tune, all of a sudden you have like fond memories of the person who taught it to you or the person you learned it from and the story that you associate with that. So I think those things are just magical, you know.
Nice. Would it be possible to know a story of a tune and hear a tune?
Yeah, sure, let's do it. All right, so when I was growing up, I was talking earlier about being into bluegrass music. What I was really into was old-time music, which old-time music is the older stuff. Bluegrass started in like 1930 in the Appalachian Mountains, but I was more into like the older stuff, the kind of darker, more mysterious banjo playing. And I remember I was at my teacher's house one time, and he put on a record, and it was this guy named Doc Boggs, who's like my all-time favorite banjo player. And he plays really what I thought was really just mysterious, creepy music. Usually you think of the banjo as a happy instrument, but this stuff was really, really creepy. So now when I play Doc Boggs, I always think of that teacher and also just Doc Boggs. This is one of his that I really, really like. So. I went down for to take a little walk. I encountered old Wild Bill Jones. He was walking and a-talking by my true lover's side, and I begged for him to leave her alone. He said, young man, my age is 21, too old for to be controlled. So I drew my revolver from my side, and I spit into that poor boy's soul. He stammered to the ground, and he gave out one dying moan. Then he threw his arms at my true lover's side, saying, honey, won't you carry me home? Around that long neck bottle, and we'll all go out on a spree. For today was the last of a Wild Bill Jones, and tomorrow be the last of me.